On the northwest coast of France, just south of Brittany, lies one of the most important prehistoric sites in Europe. At the seaside village of Carnac, over 3,000 megalithic stones are placed in rows stretching over 2 miles long. The Carnac stones were hewn from local rock formations and erected between 4,500 and 2,500 BC at the end of the Stone Age. They form the largest collection of standing stones in the world. Archaeologists are baffled by the many megaliths at Carnac. It is clearly a massive construction project, with blocks of granite weighing 50, 100, and even up to 350 tons. Legends say giants built Carnac, but one must wonder, what was the real purpose of these giant megaliths? Why would prehistoric people have moved these massive stones and placed them in such precise alignments? Thousands of large stones have been arranged in fascinating patterns, forming intersecting lines that create triangles, designs that could only be fully visible from above. These arrangements may have been an ancient way of communicating with extraterrestrial beings. The ancient Greek poet Pindar spoke of a mystical land called Hyperborea, far to the north, where the sun shone 24 hours a day. Legends claim that Apollo visited Hyperborea, traveling in his chariot of fire every 20 years. According to these myths, Apollo would tell the Greeks, "Now I must leave, for I have other people to teach." When asked where he was going, he would reply, "I travel beyond the land of the north wind, to the realm of the Hyperboreans." While mainstream archaeologists speculate that the Carnac stones were most likely tomb markers, ancient astronaut theorists believe they were intentionally laid out in a unique geometric formation. For centuries, theories have emerged about their true purpose. However, only a few years ago, aerial photography of the Brittany region provided a new perspective. When researchers combined these images, they made a startling discovery. The distances between the stones followed a precise mathematical pattern, always measuring 2,860 meters, or exactly half of 2,860 meters. The angles consistently formed Pythagorean triangles. But how could this be? Such advanced geometry should have been impossible for Stone Age people, as Pythagoras lived around 420 BC. Eastern Lebanon, the Baalbek Valley. Here at this archaeological site stand the ruins of Heliopolis, built in the 4th century BC by Alexander the Great to honor Zeus. But beneath the towering Corinthian columns and remnants of Greek and Roman architecture lie the ruins of a site that is much, much older. According to archaeologists, the site dates back nearly 9,000 years. The ancient city of Baalbek, named after the early Canaanite deity Baal, was a place of great significance. Baal was the god of life, the god of the sky, and the god of the sun. He was venerated at Baalbek during the Canaanite and Phoenician times. Because the site was already sacred to the god Baal, the Greeks and later the Romans built temples on the very same spot. Archaeological surveys have revealed that the enormous stone foundation at the base of the site dates back tens of thousands of years. Baalbek, according to archaeological evidence, must have existed during the Neolithic period, between 6,000 to 8,000, or even 9,000 years BC. But even more significant to ancient astronaut theorists is their belief that the colossal stone platform may once have served as a landing pad for space travelers. The reason Baalbek was chosen as this specific site remains unknown. It may have been some kind of special power place. But what was originally there before the Roman temple? Was this space platform once used by extraterrestrials coming and going from planet Earth? As evidence, researchers point to the gigantic megalithic stones incorporated into the foundation. Each one weighs between 800 and 1,200 tons and is perfectly fitted together. This is the real mystery. How did these stones come to be there? Why were they placed there? And most importantly, how were they transported into place? Some of these stones are so massive that even modern machinery is incapable of moving them. And yet somehow, our ancestors were able to do it. Oh no. Near the modern-day city of Osaka, an investigation is conducted by ancient astronaut theorists into one of the oldest and holiest sites in the country. The Ishino Hoden megalith is identified as a giant stone monument carved out of the bedrock on the mountainside. It is believed by some researchers to date back an astonishing 16,000 years. The structure is observed to be gigantic, with its immense size and weight estimated at 500 tons. Its sheer scale is noted with amazement. A closer examination reveals that the rock appears to be floating over the water. The name given to this structure is Amashi, or the floating rock from the heavens. This monolith is said to be connected to one of the first gods who descended from the heavens to Japan. It is described in legends that the god traveled over the country on a skyship made out of a giant rock, which was called Amano Iwafune, or the heavenly rock ship. The presence of an ancient Japanese legend is acknowledged, which describes a deity flying through the sky in a gigantic vehicle made of stone. It is suggested that the description of the vehicle as being made of stone arose because of its immense strength and indestructibility, which led to the belief that it was literally composed of stone. The gods are said to have traveled over the land on a giant ship that lacked wings, but resembled a ship made of an extremely hard material. This ship is described as descending from the heavens to traverse the country. The Ishino Hoden megalith is interpreted as a possible attempt by ancient people to document an extraterrestrial visitation, with the incredibly hard stone serving as a representation of the color and indestructible nature of the craft that was observed in the sky. As additional evidence of alien contact, another ancient site in Japan is investigated, which contains a nearly identical legend. Asuka Park, Japan, April 2017. A rock formation is identified with signage pointing towards a rock ship or mass rock ship. The ancient astronaut theorists proceed to examine Masuda no Iwafune, an 800-ton rock structure that has been carved from a single piece of granite. It is noted that no other known architecture in Japan resembles this structure. A square grid is observed on the sides of the rock, resembling similar carvings found in India, particularly in Mahabalipuram, where myths of celestial beings are also recorded. Upon reaching the top, the structure is examined with great astonishment, as its uniqueness is acknowledged. While some researchers suggest that Masuda no Iwafune was constructed as a tomb, others claim that it was designed to depict the sky boats described in ancient Japanese stories. Masuda no Iwafune. The idea that the rock formation once served as an entrance to a Buddhist temple is challenged, as its creation predates the arrival of Buddhism in Japan. The true meaning of Masuda no Iwafune is unveiled. Masuda refers to the name of a region. Iwafune directly translates to stone ship or rock ship. The Iwafune, or rock ship, is believed to have descended from the heavens, serving as a vessel for the gods to reach Earth. A link is drawn between celestial myths and the possibility that the structure was designed to represent one of the flying vehicles that ancient civilizations may have witnessed. Copan, Honduras. Nestled deep within the Yucatan Peninsula, the ancient city of Copan stands as one of the most significant centers of the Mayan Empire. The Maya civilization, which flourished between 2000 BC and 900 AD, is renowned for its extraordinary advancements in astronomy, mathematics, writing, and architecture. At its height, the Maya Empire spanned vast territories, extending from the Yucatan Peninsula and the Caribbean to the Pacific coast of Guatemala, encompassing present-day Mexico and Honduras. Copan, at its peak, covered approximately 10 square miles and supported a thriving population of nearly 20,000 inhabitants. However, in the 9th century, the city was mysteriously abandoned. Its people vanished, leaving behind a once prosperous metropolis that was gradually reclaimed by the dense jungle. Within the ruins, archaeologists have uncovered intricately carved stone statues, or stelae, depicting the semi-divine rulers of Copan, adorned with hieroglyphic inscriptions. These carvings are considered compelling evidence of how ancient civilizations venerated the heavens. Copan is widely recognized as a site where even scholars acknowledge the intentional alignment of its structures with celestial bodies, embodying the principle of as above, so below. October 2019, Copan, Honduras. A visit is made to Copan, where an extensive excavation has been conducted by Mayan archaeologists for over 3 decades. A guided tour leads to the Great Plaza, a vast expanse measuring over 100 meters, larger than a football field. The southern section of the plaza is identified as the primary location of the towering standing stone giants. Before a closer examination of these statues, an invitation is extended to explore the underground tunnels beneath Temple 16. Caution is advised due to the low ceiling, and attention is drawn to the coral-like ceiling formations, which are remarkably well preserved. Within these tunnels, it is revealed that the temple structure, believed to have been built in 776 AD, completely encloses a much older temple known as Rosalila. The Rosalila temple is of particular significance, as its stucco figures have been preserved with extraordinary detail. One of the carved figures is closely examined, displaying a striking resemblance to a helmeted individual with a regulator or microphone-like apparatus near the mouth. While the image is traditionally interpreted as an ancestor figure, an alternative theory is presented, suggesting that it could represent an astronaut wearing a helmet as depicted by ancient artists with no knowledge of modern space exploration. The stucco figure is considered remarkable, sparking questions about its possible connection to extraterrestrial beings.